There's been a lot of discussion and hubbub lately about which characters are going to be included as downloadable content in the most recent Smash Bros. Game, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. There have been so many leaks and rumors that it's hard to keep your head straight about which characters are actually going to be in the game. But I'm here to ease all of your doubts with my list of the top 5 characters that should be DLC in Super Smash Bros. 4. Let's do this.
5!
The Metroid franchise has long been one of Nintendo's most iconic and important series. It has so many great games that have gotten such great critical response, and great fan response too, with a devoted, hardcore fan base that just can't wait for more Metroid. But Smash Bros. Hasn't been very kind to Metroid. There are so many great Metroid characters that just haven't gotten representation in the games at all, and the Metroid series hasn't had many characters as a result of it. So that's why my number 5 character that should be in Super Smash Bros. DLC is none other than Metroid's classic, Samus. Now some might argue that Samus is too big for Smash, and I understand that. She towers over fellow fighters like Little Mac. But she has so many versatile moves that would make her such a fun addition to the Smash Bros. Franchise. She has screw attacks, and charge shots, and missiles, and bombs. There could even be a separate character that's just Samus without her power suit. Although, I don't know why they would do that, because all of her powers come from her power suit, and it kind of goes against the whole purpose of the character. But, like, they could do that if they wanted to. But either way, Samus is an iconic, important character, and I think it's crazy that her series doesn't have as much representation as it should, so she should totally be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. 4.
4!
My number 4 pick is a slightly more obscure character from the Kirby franchise. Now, some would argue that Kirby has enough representation as it is with its 3 characters, but there's a 4th character that's important in Kirby that might be a really fun, cute addition to the franchise. And that is, of course, the pink puffball himself, Kirby. Now, Kirby already has quite a few characters in the game, but I think Kirby would be so different from all of them. He would have the ability to suck up his enemies and swallow them in order to attain their powers, which is really friggin' cool. And because Kirby is such an accessible, easy-to-play franchise, it makes sense that Kirby would be an easy-to-play character. He would have really easily spammable moves that you could do over and over again, and have the ability to jump forever, so that you could just not fall off the stage that much. He's not a hardcore character at all, but I think many little brothers would love to have the opportunity to fight their friends with Kirby.
3!
For number 3, we're going to look at a character from the world of Pokemon. Now, there have been so many Pokemon around, but we're going to look at a character specifically from the first game. He's had iconic appearances in the Pokemon movies, games, and anime, but hasn't appeared in Smash Bros. In the last couple installments. I, of course, am talking about Pikachu. Now, some may argue that Pikachu can't be in the game because he isn't his Pokemon's most evolved form, but Mewtwo is in Smash Bros., and he later evolves into Mew, so I think Pikachu should be there too. And besides, Pikachu is the only Pokemon to have been in every main series Pokemon game, and he's been a mascot of the franchise ever since the beginning, and as a result, I think he should be in Super Smash Bros. Hopefully, we'll see that adorable tail and hear his adorable voice say PK Fire as DLC in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Wii DS and 3U.
2!
My number 2 character isn't technically a Nintendo character anymore. His parent company split up with Nintendo, but he had his origins with Nintendo, and he's been important for Nintendo's development, and as a result, I think he should return to Nintendo's fray in Super Smash Bros. 4. I am, of course, talking about Link from The Legend of Zelda. Ever since his parent company Philips split up with Nintendo and made the Wand of Gamelon and the Faces of Evil, Link hasn't been a Nintendo mascot, but he's been in some of the most iconic video games of all time. Link's crossbow training, the Minish Cap, Spirit Tracks, all of them masterpieces. Plus, he was in a cartoon. Was Captain Falcon in a cartoon? No, he wasn't in a cartoon. Why would Link only return now? Well, the recent release of his latest game, Majora's Mask, has gotten Link a bunch of hype, and I think Nintendo would do well to capitalize on that hype by putting him in Super Smash Bros. 4.
1!
Now, I know I've been funny in the last couple entries, but this one is serious. This character has been clamored for by many people ever since his release in Super Mario RPG, a classic game, and he's a classic, important character that has touched many hearts. I am, of course, speaking of Mario. Now, I understand Mario hasn't appeared in the game in quite some time, ever since Square and Nintendo fell out, but he's so cool! Look at that hat, and that mustache, and those overalls! They're just so cool! Some have argued that he would be a Luigi clone, and I see where that might come from, but Mario has his own place in the gaming community, in that he was in one RPG that people won't shut up about, even though it came out like 20 years ago. His iconic status as an RPG legend and his amazing magic attacks mean that he would be a really good choice for Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Nintendo should consider adding him in DLC. Now that's the list of characters that I want to see in Super Smash Bros. 4, but I'm interested in hearing your opinions. Leave a comment down in the comments commenting on which character you want to see in Super Smash Bros. 4 DLC as a comment in the comments. And subscribe if you want to see more list videos like this one, because I will make them as long as you subscribe to me. Just please do that. Please. I have a family to feed. And tune in next week when I give my amazing theories on Five Nights at Freddy's. You'll never guess who the killer really is. Spoiler alert, it's you.